welcome back. October 29th, 2024, and we are looking at potential Hurricane Patty, which is likely going to form in the Southern Caribbean. As we stated about 4 or 5 days ago now, we took a lot of heat for even saying that this would form and then possibly move into the Gulf, putting Florida in its crosshairs, and that's exactly what the data showed, and now we have some updates here. As you can see, we are still seeing that formation in the Southern Caribbean, possibly even 2 separate storms. We have a little bit to go before we can solidify that second one, but it is looking more and more clear that we're going to see this thing starting to gain momentum over the next 3 to 4 days. That is a little outside of the election day landfall that we saw in the data previously, but again, we were just sharing the data we had available at that time and letting people know that this was going to take place. More and more models are now beginning to show this thing absolutely forming in the Southern Caribbean, and then it's a little bit of a question of where it goes. That's always the case with these hurricanes. Not only that, but we are very late in the season. We have until November 30th when the technical hurricane season ends. That doesn't mean we can't get hurricanes. We've had hurricanes every month of the year in the Atlantic Ocean at some point. But based off of the fact that we are number 3, possibly number 2 on all-time damage sustained from a hurricane season, it is very safe to say that the hurricanes we have had this year were devastating. All right, and very quickly to show you how this progressed, back on the 25th is when I put out multiple posts saying that I believe something in the Caribbean was going to be forming and moving up into the Gulf near Florida. The next day, the 26th, we had nothing on this chart whatsoever, and then the 27th, finally, the National Hurricane Center put something down as a 30% chance of cyclone formation in the exact spot we said, followed the very next day, yesterday, on the 28th, by a 40% chance of cyclone formation. So this is rising slowly, and finally, as you can see in current time, as far as 1:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are still at that 40 to 60% chance over the next week. All right, my friends, and before I let you go, if you haven't yet, please check out my 2 videos I have on Hurricane Christy that was out in the Pacific, which caused that atmospheric river to then flow moisture into the West Coast. We saw a lot of vapor trails. Remember, that's what we have to call them, vapor trails, coming in from the west, and we said that this would turn into a very significant storm and to watch. And now we are seeing that happen. We're seeing the system now starting to combine in the center of the country, which will cause some severe situations. We followed this all the way through the Great Lakes and down into Asheville, North Carolina. They were getting sprayed heavy yesterday, and now that is all coming to fruition in the next day or two. We're quite literally following this storm start to finish. In fact, you could see that all starting to build up here. Northern Texas, Oklahoma, we have the big snowstorm taking place finally. This is all part of that system that all came in from the West Coast through that atmospheric river from Hurricane Christy. As we watched all those lines right here, all that moisture was then fully saturated, which means it's much easier to be put in these spots, if you know what I'm saying. And again, you can see this will lead to severe weather in a very common spot we followed all springtime long. Even the tornado warnings are up to a little bit over 10%. So do not take this lightly. If you live in these areas, this is going to be a nasty situation. And it all began from that moisture, as I said, coming in from the west. You can watch this stuff start to finish. All right, everyone, I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to Canada. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.